winning runs were hit by Giles, tucked modestly through the leg side. And who should he be facing but his nemesis, Warne?
England had gone 2-1 up in the series. They'd only need a draw at the Oval to bring home the Ashes.
Last of the heroes for England in one of the more tense situations I've ever come across in watching cricket.
Is the misery of losing outweighed by the pleasure of winning? And I think for England it is, because England is like a championship league or a second division soccer team in a strange sort of way. I support Norwich City in soccer, say, and I really don't mind when we lose because I expect us to. But when we win, I am so happy, infinitely happier than any Arsenal supporter or Chelsea supporter ever could be.
Even though they've been dominating Australia throughout every game since Lord's, they've not quite been able to. It's almost as though perhaps they can't quite believe they're in this position. And credit to Australia, they never give in as well. They've got this residual kind of competitive instinct that comes out, and they fight to the wire.
There's no doubt that England have been the best side. I mean, they've played generally the better cricket.
It shows an amazing amount of inner sort of fight and self-belief and skill to have got to where they've got to at the end of the fourth test and to be leading the series. And, you know, it's been an immense performance that's put cricket back on the map in this country and made people in this country really believe that we have got winning sportsmen again.
Around about 10 million people watched that game in the UK alone, and suddenly, from a crushing defeat at Lord's, England had turned the sum around and they led 2-1. As for the Aussies, they were on the ropes. Imagine this: to retain the Ashes, they had to win here at the Oval. Dawn at the Oval. England 2-1 up and only needing a draw to finally bring home the Ashes. For Michael Vaughan's team, chances like this come once in a lifetime. William Blake's Jerusalem rang out all over the nation that morning. Some even compared the hype to the 1966 Football World Cup. One thing was certain: winning the toss would be critical to England's chances. Michael Vaughan has the coin and Ricky Ponting will call.
Heads is the coin.
The toss was crucial because what England needed to do was to try and bat Australia out of the game.
Tail. Michael Vaughan has won the toss.
Won the toss and batted first. It was a belting pitch, and they just thought, right, we 400, 450, and it's ours.
It's almost the public and the press thought we'd won the Ashes anyway. There's all these plans being made which didn't help us, to be honest, being told about open-top buses and such like.
Bowling there. With expectations already high, England's openers made a fine start.
All outside off stump between second and third.
Beautiful shot. Just a lovely, lovely straight drive. Shot of the morning for me from Marcus Trescott.
Then that man Warne took charge of the ball, and it was as if he was taking on the English single-handed.
Warne changes the game. That's what he's been so great at over the years.
Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic catch.
And it's a scary sight for batsmen. And if you're an England supporter, you're trembling when that happens.
The best move must be, and always will be, the move that your opponent least wants you to play. And that's what Warne has. He knows what the batsman doesn't want to happen, and that's what he makes happen.
England's captain came to the crease to steady the ship.
He's a thinking bowler, not just because he's a great leg spinner, but the way he changes his field, he'll change his angle of delivery, he'll float a few up, he'll bowl a few faster.
Well, sometimes it's creating an impression of something's happening when it's not really. And that's a combination of a lot of different things.
You fancy scoring off him, but he creates opportunities because he's that clever. He's quite a wily old fox.
And sure enough, Warne the Fox trapped his prey. With Warne on a roll, England's batsmen were falling apart.
Oh, that is close. That's really well bowled.
Bowled him! There it is, the battle's over. And Shane Warne gets his fourth. That's big, big, big for Australia.
You think back to the 70s, and the archetypal Australian hero was a Dennis Lilly with a big moustache and, you know, bulging biceps and shirt flapping and bowling at 90 miles an hour. And now it's Shane Warne with his bottle blonde hair and his earring and his flashing smile and a fat tummy.
Well, I mean, English people have a love-hate relationship with Australians.
Well, you could call it a love-hate relationship. I loved them and they hated me.
They did finally break into a chorus of, "We wish you were English, we only wish you were English." And I think they would love Warney to be English. I think if England had Shane Warne, they could really go places as a team.
Well, England didn't have Warne, but luckily they did have Strauss, who went serenely past his 50.
Pick one player in advance, one England player, to play the innings that England needed, it would be Strauss.
Runs for Strauss again, backward a point.
Someone at the top has to get you runs, has to get you a start. And he just concentrated. He knew exactly what he had to do, which was to bat time as well as score runs, and he set himself to do it brilliantly. When Fred came in, at that point, England are thinking, well, actually, we probably, if we don't do anything stupid, if we just hold ourselves together for the next 2 sessions, this is it.
Oh, he's hit that one. It's going a long way down in the ground. Is it over the top? Well, the crowd is signalling 6. I'm not too sure. One way or the other, it's Freddie Flintoff's half-century.
He's so good that the only way that you're going to come unfounded is if you start thinking too much. And when someone like that thinks too much, he gets confused. So he's just better off going to play with the ball. He's outstanding. With the bat, he's naturally can hit it out the ground at will.
But now he's worked out that the game batting is not only about 4s and 6s. It's about controlled shots and, you know, finding the gaps and kind of manipulating the bowling to your favour.
After Flintoff's 50, Strauss reached 100 and became the only player on either side to do so twice in the series.
That's his 100. This has been a superb knock. That's Mrs. Strauss there, and boy, she's delighted.
And the Ashes were seeming to look safer by the ball. But that didn't last. England collapsed under pressure, all out for 373.
A marvellous hand today.
It wasn't bad, but was it good enough to defend?
Makes the decision for Shane Warne.
It just gave a little sniff of an opportunity to Australia. 370 was a bit of a nondescript score. They had the chance of getting to 500 and doing the thing that they really wanted to do, which was to set Warne going on a slightly wearing pitch and put England under pressure.
The morning, day 2, and Australia started to bat with greater resolve than at any time in the series.
Into the gap, and it races away to the boundary. That's the first 4. Oh, good shot. He's got that one away too.
But for the next 2 days, the great British weather took over, and the Australians surprised everyone by showing a reluctance to bat in bad light.
You know, the conditions were borderline playable. It was arguable that you would come off in normal circumstances, but these were not normal circumstances. And I think it was, if it wasn't important in terms of the time that was actually lost, it was a psychological blow to Australian esteem. I think as a cricket team, you always try to do what the opposition doesn't want. And in this sense, I think they did exactly what England would have preferred them to do.
That was a decision that, you know, I thought we maybe had to stay out there because of the time in the game. But that was a decision that was made.
When the weather finally cleared, the game was on a knife edge. With both Australian openers making hundreds, they were on course for a big total and a daunting lead.
Langer watching the ball close onto the bat.
Oh, good shot. He's got that one away too.
But they hadn't reckoned on Fiery Freddie.
Oh, watch out.
With Simon Jones out injured, Flintoff embraced the challenge of bowling for two.
An old ball, I might say.
18 overs in a row, astonishing performance for a bloke who must have been almost physically out of gas.
2-1 up and you're on the brink of to do something special. You know, you just don't seem to get tired, your body doesn't ache. You just want to be involved, you want the ball in your hand and you want to make a difference.
Must be LDW, surely. Yep, it's a slow death from Rudy Gibson, but it is a death. That's also close. That is also out.
It's been an extraordinary privilege to watch this bloke, this force of cricketing nature, just say, I have the tools here, I have the power, and you're going to witness me doing these things with bat and ball.
Could be out. It's a good catch. Australia all out. 367.
Everyone had expected Australia to establish a big first innings lead, but incredibly, they didn't even get past England's total. So when the new innings began, the game was still wide open, and England were facing the magnificent Warne once again.
Oh, nice area, Shane.
I think there's a few England supporters there trying to con the umpires into taking England off.
There was this wonderful byplay in the crowd between the English elements and the Australian elements, where the Englishmen were flourishing their umbrellas in the air and the Australians were taking off their shirts in order to indicate that that it was basking Australian sunshine. And of course the Australian players went along with the gag by coming on in sunglasses, which was just a golden moment.
Not again. What are they doing?
Before long, the English fans got their wish and play was ended by bad light again. The last day of the summer, and the Ashes still in the balance. The tension was palpable, and England's challenge was clear. Bat out the day, and the Ashes would be theirs.
Good morning, everyone. Stirring moments. Anticipation on everyone's face around the ground, and everyone is waiting for this final day.
The old warhorse Glenn McGrath, the scourge of English batsmen over the past decade, summoned up one last mighty effort to wrest the series from England's grip.
Oh, beautifully bowled. That's much better. Wickets are what Australia need. In the air. Oh, what a catch. What a magnificent catch.
Look at this grab from Adam Gilchrist. Absolutely sensational. And the breakthrough that Australia wanted this morning, can they get on a roll from here at 67 for 2?
The very next ball, it was Ian Bell in the firing line.
Two slips in position. In the air. Got him. Warne's got him. That's a catch. That's two in a row. The Aussies are back in business. Well, have a look at him. This is unbelievable. Surely we can't have another finish like those that have gone before.
And with McGrath on a hat-trick, who should step up to the plate but Kevin Pietersen?
Here we go. Oh, has he got him? A big appeal, not out. Hit him on the arm.
Oh dear. Let's have a close look here. Shoulder, fantastic decision.
He knew that this was his opportunity, but this was also his threat. This was also the possibility of being the man who bottled this important juncture in English cricket. So he had everything to gain and everything to lose as well.
It's a fine line sport sometimes, and we had held one of those couple of catches early when he was on nothing at the start of the last Test match. He probably averaged around 30, and people would have been saying, "Is he good enough for Test cricket?"
Oh, he's dropped it. Dropped it.
But someone was smiling on Pietersen.
Is that the moment or what?
He followed one from Lee. It went head high to Shane Warne, his old mucker, at slip, the sort of thing that Warney would normally swallow, and somehow it just burst through his hands.
Most extraordinary.
And it's interesting, you know, when a chance comes under circumstances like that, how hard your hands can get.
Saw a big flash, Brett Lee bowling, and I had my hands there, and it looked like I just felt, oh yeah, I've got this, thank you. And then it just sort of hit me right down on the drumstick there, and so I must have dipped, so it did me for lack of pace. So I've caught some unbelievable ones over the years, and it does make you feel better that you drop one. I think it's probably the worst feeling in cricket, no matter what the situation of the game.
Fortune favours the brave, and I'm a pretty brave cricketer, I'm a pretty positive cricketer, and that's the way I went about my business, and I took the attack to Australia.
There you go. Just can't see the problem.
Oh, that's a heck of a strike. My goodness. Really, that's exceptional cricket.
And it's just the sporting gods up there decided that, no, we're going to drop a few and give him a bit of a life, and he's going to have a bit of luck, and it's going to be his day. And in between having all that, he played, you know, an unbelievable innings and showed what a great player he is, what an outstanding player he could be.
Nicely played. That's the 50 for Pietersen.
The way he attacked after lunch on that last day altered the whole atmosphere and feeling, and I think that was the moment that Australia just thought, no, it ain't going to happen for us.
That one, where's it gone? Straight in the air, it's another 6. Again he goes. Sean Tate, it was a good effort. Hang on to it. Oh, what a corker that shot was. It's baseball.
Pietersen batted out of his skin, but the possibility of defeat still existed. When Collingwood was England's 6th wicket to fall, they were still only 192 ahead, and there was plenty of time left for Australia to make the necessary runs.
That's a beautiful stroke with which to make a maiden Test century. The last Test match of an Ashes series.
To me, the critical moment almost of the whole series, and that's not underestimating everything that had gone before, came in the 71st and the 72nd over. First, Brett Lee bowled a ball of 94.7 miles an hour. That's very, very quick.
He has played some fantastic cricket today. When he hits big.
Massive eruption. Great relief of tension, but still not quite enough, still not quite there. Next over, Pietersen faces Warne. What's Warne got left? What has he got left? The great champion.
What a bit of batting.
And he got there and he hit it back over his head for 6. That, to me, was the moment everyone on the field and everyone on the ground knew England finally were going to win the Ashes.
Did that cleanly.
A tired Glenn McGrath finally got his man for a spellbinding 158, but by then it was too late for Australia to save the Ashes.
England under severe pressure, and he's played the innings of his life.
Pietersen will receive a standing ovation. He gets one from Shane Warne at the moment.
Shane and I are good friends, speak to each other daily, and I feel sorry for him. I mean, he did his part and he was magnificent in the series. He was absolutely sensational. The bloke is a true champion and a true legend, and I respect him as much as any legend. He's just fantastic.
Oh, what a delivery. Giles kicks the turf in disgust, but Warne is unbowed and unbeaten to the end.
With England 341 runs ahead and only a few overs left to play, the game was effectively over. For Warne and McGrath, it was the end of an era.
I said to Glenn, come here, you know, this is the last time you and I are going to be here. We've been, you know, we've done pretty well over here in this sort of time. It's the last time we're going to play together over here in England. Come here, and just walked off together.
The end was a total anticlimax in a way. You know, after all these incredible matches and tense finishes, we're then standing around for 20 minutes, and I was outside the England dressing room at that point, and they were just waiting for something to happen. And there were the umpires, sort of posing around, looking at the light. You know, everyone just wanted the game to be called off. And it was odd in a way. It showed how cricket kind of still has this old-fashioned kind of ambience about it, that the umpires, two men in white, have to stride out to the middle and deliberately take the bails off before the match can be called off. It was a charade.
What a performance from these two gentlemen. All-time perfect. There it is. England have regained the Ashes.
The Oval Test match was fantastic. To come down to the last day of the series, I'm not sure how many series over the years have come down to the last day, just about the last session of the whole series.
We had brilliant attacking batsmanship, we had terrific defensive batsmanship, we had wonderful swing bowling, we had brilliant leg spin, and we got no result. It was just perfect. It was the kind of test match that is just impossible to explain to Americans because there was no result. And everyone wanted them to be no result.
When we beat Australia, it is a joy that you cannot possibly transmit or communicate to others. It is so intense, it radiates your whole being, and you skip on air for weeks.
Well, these are some of the most fantastic scenes ever seen in English cricket.
It's been a summer story, a summer-long story. We've had, you know, good weather, we've had bad weather, we've had excellent crowds, we've had 20,000 people turn away on Monday from Old Trafford. It's just been awesome, and cricket is a brilliant sport, played by pretty good guys, and I think it's back where it belongs, you know, and I hope it stays there.
I've probably been a nightmare to live with throughout the whole summer. My wife's not really got much conversation out of me at all. And throughout the summer, my mind's just been purely focused on trying to achieve what so many people have tried to do. But I generally believe we had an opportunity to do so. And when you believe you have an opportunity, you have to try and take that.
So there it is, finally. The most famous cricketing trophy of all, reclaimed after 16 long years. And with it come memories of the greatest series that the world has ever seen.
The dog.